going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. Happy Friday to all of you watching out there right when this video goes live. I'm back at home now, which means we can dip back into the knife collection and cross a few more of these videos off of the list. This entire case right here is now housing my entire growing knife collection, and I just ran a count. There's about 10 knives in here that do not have dedicated videos on them. Most of them you may have seen before in either mail time videos or just somewhere maybe out of comparisons in other videos. But there's still a few that don't have dedicated videos, so after the last knife video I picked a different one out of the box, decided to give it some pocket time for about a week or two, and now I'm going to give you guys some of my fresh thoughts on that knife, which happens to be the Boker Kihon. The Boker Plus Kihon is a drop point automatic knife, and it was designed by my friend Lucas Burnley. This is a 3¼ inch blade with an overall length of 7¾ inches. I've been reading some of your comments on previous videos, and I noticed that you guys want to see some more budget-friendly options. So for all you guys out there who may be interested in a knife like this is only coming in at $49.95 right now on Blade HQ. Because of that cheaper price, you're going to get a lower quality steel, and this one is AUS 8. It is coated in black because I like all black everything. And in my opinion, AUS 8 isn't all that bad. It's really a tool steel, and for an everyday carry knife, it definitely gets the job done as long as you take care of it. The handles are a flow-through design. They are made out of aluminum, and they sort of have this pebble or ray skin texture to them. It's a pretty classy looking design. It provides decent enough grip with a little bit of a jimping on the back of the spine of the blade. And overall, I think this is a pretty classy looking knife. There is a lanyard hole on the end of the knife, and the pocket clip is very low profile. Although it's not deep, it is black, and it seems to do the job just fine. Now, this push-button Boker Kihon is actually a Blade HQ exclusive model, and what's cool about these is that they've been tricked out with an aftermarket coil spring, making the action much more hard-hitting than normal. For an affordable automatic knife, that extra little punch that they get with that upgraded coil is extremely nice. Alright guys, here we go with a top-down look, a little bit of a close-up at the Boker Kihon. Plunger has some nice knurling on it, and this thing, surprisingly, fires really nicely. Boker Plus is obviously the more premium Boker line, and you know, Boker has a lot of classics. Like this beauty right here, we cannot forget the mythical mermaid. I'll just set that right up here for you guys to look at for the rest of the video. So here we have the Kihon, and I also brought out some other knives comparable in size and actually comparable in actions as well. First up, we'll start with something pretty simple, the Spyderco Para 3. This knife has been used and abused. Obviously, you've seen it on the channel before. And as far as the size goes, it's coming in a little bit smaller than the Kihon. You're going to have a little bit more handle on this one, as well as a little bit more of a cutting edge. And then as far as these knives go that are not automatics, we also have a Benchmade Griptilian right here, which is pretty damn close in size. The handle on this one is going to be a little bit wider, more to hold on to, but pretty comparable. Now moving into some automatics that are similar in size, we have the Guardian Recon. This is the 035, and this one is very similar in size, also in handle thickness. And then we have something which I don't think I've shown this knife on a video. This is actually a Microtech 25th anniversary coming from Blade Show in Atlanta this past year. It's got a cool sort of half dagger style blade on there. And this kind of has its own style of form factor. It's a lot more slender, and overall this knife is going to be taking up a little bit less pocket room and just be a little bit longer overall. And then the only other knife that I really have to compare to this as far as automatic actions go that are going to be similar would be my ProTech TR5. You guys have seen this in a ton of videos before, and I of course love the action of this knife. Let's actually do a complete side-by-side comparison of these actions. Maybe you guys will be able to get a feel for this Boker. We're gonna slow things down for this one. First up, the Kihon. That upgraded spring in there really has this thing feeling nice, but does it compare to a ProTech? Something about the fit and finish on a knife like this, which obviously cost way more than a knife like this. You can tell the difference. However, this one still fires pretty strong for a sub $50 knife. Let's see if we can hit these both at the same time. A little difficult. Let's try that again. So the ProTech does fire a little faster and harder, but when you're comparing price points, I think they're both pretty good options. Now, as far as using this knife as an EDC knife, how did that go? Well, don't really have a whole lot to report. It was just a pretty standard everyday carry knife. As you can tell, the blade is a little gunked up and I have not touched up the edge or sharpened it in any way, shape, or form. This is still the factory edge. Let's actually see how it slices paper right now. It cuts it. For opening boxes and stuff, I mean, that's going to be good enough for me. I could probably throw a wicked edge on there if I wanted to and get this thing ultra sharp, but it's just AUS 8, so it is what it is. Now, the one thing that I found when using this blade for a while is I don't really prefer this blade shape, the way it kind of sweeps up here. I'm much more used to something like the Para 3 or even the TR5 here that kind of angles the blade down a bit. I was opening a really big box recently with a bunch of those plastic cable ties around everything, and I found that when I was putting it in behind those cables and pulling out with it, the tip here would sort of dig into the box. I did that about like 20 times trying to open a really big package, and it's just something that I noted. Although I don't really prefer the blade shape, I do like that it is flat ground. It does slice pretty nicely even when the blade is not ultra sharp right now. Ergonomic wise, it feels pretty good in the hand. The ray skin inlays add just a little bit of traction. I'm sure if my hands got a little wet or cold, it might be a little bit more difficult to use, but it's okay. For what it is, a sub $50 knife, I think that is definitely one that I can recommend to you guys. So I think that's all that I really had for the Boker Kihon Burnley Design Blade HQ exclusive. If you guys want to find out any more information about these things, I will of course leave a link in the description down below. Now I'm going to dig through this box and find some knives that do not have dedicated videos on them, and I'm going to leave a poll right up here in this corner. Check it out, let me know what you guys want to see next Friday, and if I have the availability, I will be making another knife video for you guys, so I hope you like them. Now, if you are new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every week. That's going to be all for today, so as always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.